Hey everyone, I'm Liz. I'm a vet nurse and I've spent most of my career working in animal welfare. I've worked with companion animals and wildlife from southern to central Africa, and I have volunteered with dogs, cats and wildlife in various organizations all around the world. Over the next few months, I'm going to volunteer at various clinics and welfare organizations as well as wildlife sanctuaries to bring you a day in the life of a vet nurse and volunteer. I'd like to show you what goes on behind the scenes in animal welfare and what happens to your funds when you donate. Today we visit the Kitten Cottage, owned and run by a wonderful lady called Paulette Olifdu. She's based near Atlantis in the Western Cape, and she runs a cat clinic as well as a cat sanctuary, and we do spay days about twice a month, and we're raising funds for the upcoming spay marathon. Enjoy it. Morning, Paulette.
Good morning.
Thank you for letting me film today, and thank you for letting me volunteer here and be part of your world.
Absolute pleasure.
For a little while. How many cats have we got booked in today?
We've got 63 cats booked in.
Yeah.
So we've got 33 females and 30 something males.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many vets to do the operation?
Just one vet, and we've got obviously a veterinary nurse on board. Yourself.
Me? Yes.
And yeah. So
and how many volunteers?
We've got 6 volunteers.
6 volunteers plus you, plus me, and a vet to do 60 cats. So I don't know about you, but I'm always very excited at 8 o'clock before the poo hits the fan. Are you still excited by this?
Yes. Every spay day is an exciting day.
What inspires you? Because
just to know that we are helping people, we are helping animals. That we are making a difference in animals' lives and people's lives. We're not only working, we're working with different classes of people, and everybody's treated exactly the same. They all get the royal carpet treatment when they walk in. Nobody gets turned away. Whether they young, old, whatever cats, we deal with them, we make a difference. And that's my passion, to make a difference. And to sterilize, to stop the breeding of unwanted kittens, so we don't have to have welfares that are overwhelmed in kitten season.
It's a tough day, and all I'm going to say is may the force be with you.
No, we've got it organised. We've got our registration organised. We've got our intake organised. We have a system. We have a numbering system. Each and every volunteer will know exactly what their plan is. We know what our plan is. We make sure that our vet is well looked after, and he's happy, and the day will flow. It will flow. We might have a couple of ups and downs, but that's a day in the life of a cat. I mean, that's what happens. It's a day in the life in a rescue centre. It's what happens, and we will deal with it, and we will as it comes. We will deal with it as a team, and that's our most important thing. Cool. Teamwork.
Go team. Go team, Casey. We'll see you on the other side of this day. It's a crisp winter morning and the Kitten Cottage clinic has been scrubbed and disinfected. At 8, pet owners arrive with their cats and go through a screening process to check if they qualify for welfare rates. COVID regulations slow the proceedings down too. It's important to record client and pet information correctly. Some cats need vaccinations, microchips, or feline AIDS tests. Once cleared, cats come into the clinic in their boxes. A numbered sticker system identifies males, females, vaccinations, microchips, and tests. Stickers are placed on boxes and on cats. This is the best way to prevent clients receiving the wrong pets back at the end of the day.
Right. Ready, steady, go.
Paulette really is the beekeeper of this hive. It's imperative to the safety of the animals that there be a smooth transition between cats being anaesthetized, prepared, positioned, removed, bandaged, monitored, and recovered. She has to be strong and in control for the process to be a success. New volunteers join regularly and have to be trained so that people aren't crashing into each other. Without the help of volunteers, the spay day would not be possible. These people have their own busy lives and demanding jobs, and weekends and downtime is precious, and yet they understand the need for communities to stand together. The problems associated with animal welfare are not solely the responsibility of a select group of welfare organisations. These welfare concerns cannot survive without support. By about 10, check-in is closed and the patient list has been finalised. It's time to start preparing individuals for surgery. Cats are injected with a combination of anaesthetic, sedation and analgesia that will keep them anaesthetised for the duration of the surgery. Anaesthetic can then be reversed once done. It doesn't take long for the first cats to start going down. They're taken to the prep area where they're shaved and cleaned. Time for antibiotics, anti-inflammatory injections, as well as any vaccines, tests and microchips that are needed. Biaska is Paulette's helper. She's only 13 and she's been volunteering with Paulette since she was 7. Dr. Solomon Bundy is the head vet here and boasts an impressive spay time of about 8 minutes. His incredible speed and accuracy make a 50 to 60 cat spay day possible. Why are these cats spooning? On a spay day, there is simply not enough space to allow us to separate and monitor individually. Spooning keeps in body heat and allows us to monitor many cats at the same time. The application of a bandage to the spay wound is to keep it clean and to prevent tampering while in holding. Owners are instructed to remove the bandage once home. This little kitty was brought in to be sterilised but had chronic diarrhoea and was quite dehydrated. Patients must be healthy enough to undergo anaesthetic. If not, they will be treated first until the vet is satisfied that they're okay. Unfortunately, work isn't done after all the cats are sterilised. Paulette has contacts with other non-profit organisations in the area that bring pets in need of medical attention. Emergencies can include things like infections caused by blood parasites, as well as road traffic accidents and wounds caused by fighting. Paulette's doors are always open to help any pets in need. Surgery is done. It's quite an adaptation to come right down from such a frenetic pace. It's time for cleaning and having a sip of that coffee that's been waiting since morning. The cats are waking up, and those that are fully awake have been moved to their travel boxes and await their people in a dark and quiet holding room. Wow, that was a day.
That was a hectic morning.
How many did we end up doing?
So we landed up doing 65.
Wow. Okay.
So we actually got more cats this morning than I actually expected.
Yeah.
So we got some walk-ins, which was fantastic.
Wow.
It was great that people just came.
Whose animals are we sterilising?
So we're sterilising the animals of people who work on a low income bracket. And also we're sterilising people's cats from the townships, so rural areas, farm areas, but people who cannot afford to go to a private veterinary practice.
Okay. So if 60 cats plus or minus a day, twice a month, is not considered mass sterilisation, what are we talking for a mass sterilisation?
Well, a mass sterilisation we would run over 2 days,
okay,
and we could look at doing, I would say, 120 cats a day.
120 cats a day over a weekend.
Over a weekend.
A Saturday and a Sunday.
Also depending on how many vets we have available.
Yeah.
That would be doing, we do 60 cats, we did 65 cats, and it was one vet and a vet nurse doing males, and so, I mean, we did a really good job. So if we have more vets involved, we will be able to definitely double it. Definitely.
And Paulette, you've said that you are planning a spay marathon in September.
I'm planning a spay marathon weekend, which we call mass sterilisation, for the 25th and 26th of September.
Okay.
It's 2 days. And my whole reason for doing this is I want to try and stop the breeding of unwanted kittens.
Because this essentially is a breeding season that we're hitting.
At the moment, right now, everything's falling pregnant. Today in our sterilisation, we had at least 10 cats that were pregnant.
Yes.
So if we had 10 that we sterilised today, by September, we're going to have a lot more cats that are going to be pregnant, and it just backs up the welfares, and it just becomes a complete nightmare.
Right. So when you have a spay marathon weekend, what do you need in terms of fundraising and people and support? What is your greatest need?
So our greatest need is to be able to have sponsors who sponsor our cats from the rural areas, and for people who are unemployed, who actually cannot afford to pay anything. They can just afford to bring the cat in for the morning on the day, but they can't afford to pay anything towards the sterilisation. So that is my main focus, is to be able to help those people, because if we don't focus on them, that's where all our kittens are going to come from, a lot of them from the rural areas and from people who can't afford, because they need the help.
Right.
Then I'm going to focus on people who are also in the low income bracket, who can afford, but we mainly need the sponsorship for the people who are coming in that can't afford it. So we need to be able to we need to be able to raise the funds to be able to cover the cost of one sterilisation per cat, per cat. We need to be. It's not just. We need to be able to the medication, the suture material, the cleaning material, everything, the antibiotics, the pain medicine. that is what we need to be able to cover. We don't need to cover the volunteers and the vets because they all volunteer their time very kindly.
Yes.
But it's that sort. So we need to have a certain amount per cat. And I also like to send the cats home with something. So if it's a little sample or a little something,
yes.
it's really nice just to have it. So that's my main thing, is to be able to sponsor, is to get a sponsor to be able to pay per cat.
So you're looking at corporate sponsorship?
Corporate sponsorship would be lovely. Otherwise, for private people who are prepared to sponsor 50 Rand, 200 Rand, whatever they could afford to put in towards to help us, to be able to help, we will be able to allocate, to buy in what we need so that we can cover those costs.
Yes.
We'd also like to bring in the cat taxi system, where we get people who... So there are a lot of people that can't afford to get to us. They don't have transport. So we would set up a section in certain areas, and we'll have a cat taxi that would meet them in certain areas. They would bring their cat in, load them in the cat taxi. The cat taxi comes in, and they stay and wait for all those cats to be sterilized, put them back, and take them back to their owners.
But the cat taxi costs, right? There's petrol money.
So the cat taxi, they volunteer their time,
okay.
But obviously we just need to be able to give them something towards the petrol.
Yes, of course. And do you need more vets or nurses to
we
help
would
for the
love some new vets.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic.
Yes.
And to have veterinary nurses or veterinary assistants would be absolutely great, because
animal welfare assistants.
Animal welfare assistants would be fantastic, because we want to make sure that every single cat that comes through our door is handled beautifully, professionally, and they receive the best medical treatment that we can give them.
And we're going to try and do at least 200 cats on the weekend.
Let's strive for better. Let's see if we can do 250.
Fantastic.
Let's see if we can do 250. If we will, well, let's see. I know that before we have done 175 over 2 days, and that was a push, but we've done it. So if we have a couple more people that are willing to come and help us, and we can try and make a difference.
Yeah. Cool. So we're gonna do a push for a spay marathon, and if you are a vet or a nurse and you want to help, if you have extra funds that you'd like to subsidize a cat spay or put money in for the cat taxi on the day, all the links are down below. Please help us, and please let's be part of the solution and not part of the problem anymore. The Kitten Cottage would like to say a huge thank you to Ricky's Cats, who sponsored these amazing products: Feline First Aid Gel, Perfect Care Wipes, and Earwise Cleaning Solution. All Ricky's products are enriched with the healing properties of organic buka oil. Check out their website for dog products too. Also, a big thank you to Bob Martin for boxes and boxes full of yummy cat food. The Kitten Cottage Sanctuary cats are purring with happiness, and we've been able to distribute some food to communities in need. Thank you both for all your love and generosity.